What's going on, family? Welcome to tonight's Lions Den. I am super excited about what I'm getting ready to share with you tonight. It actually was inspired by I guess, my meditation in the Word this morning, and so I really wanted to expound on it. I put a post out there this morning. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it was something that really resonated with me. And I want you to think about something, right? Real quick before we get into it. How many times have you tried to change something in your life and it just seems like no matter what you do, it does not happen? It seems like you keep going back to the old you. I want to give you some substance today that will help you in this season or in this phase of the Lion's Den to help you to break out of that thing that is consistently keeping you back. It's keeping you from being everything that God has created you to be. And so we're going to talk about change tonight. And change is something that is usually very difficult for a lot of people because with change comes that in and of itself. It's the change, right? And most people don't like the change for their own reasons, but change is necessary. And when you understand how necessary change is, then it makes it easier for you to be able to endure the change. And so I want to show you, let me bring up the post that I had put up there this morning. And I'm telling you, this thing has been resonating with me all day long. But here's the post, right? If you didn't see it, I said intentional action is required for new levels. Staying the same by not working on the areas of weakness in your private life will eventually rub over into your public life. And then I said, look, don't take my word for it, right? Go read this thing for yourself. And it came from Matthew chapter 9, and I'm gonna read it, but it came from Matthew chapter 9, verse 16 and 17. And so I wanna really discuss this today so you can really understand what's required in order for change to take place in your life on a consistent basis, because this is an ongoing thing, right? This is not something that just happens one time and all of a sudden you've changed for the rest of your life. No, this is a daily assignment that you have to be intentional about, and that's change. So let me read this real quick. Matthew chapter 9, verse 16. It says this. It says, no one puts a piece of unshrunken cloth on an old garment, but the patch pulls away from the garment, and the tear is made worse. Nor do they put new wine into old wineskins, or else the wineskins break, the wine is spilled, and the wineskins are ruined. But they put new wine into new wineskins, and both are preserved. And so when I was meditating on that this morning, the very thing that popped off really in my mind is how often are we attempting to change with the same mentality, with the same routine, thinking that something is going to happen or something is going to change for you? That's not how it works, right? You have to become someone different in order to see something different in your life. The lions in the lion's den are aware of the old you, but they don't know this new you that you're becoming. And so when they're coming after you, right? When the lions are after you, they smell the fear of the old person. They smell the old you. They smell the old wineskins, and they know that no matter how hard you've tried, all you've done is just simply replace the wine in the old wineskin, and you're really not making any progress. And so it expresses itself on the outside. Who you are on the inside should express, and it does express who you are on the outside. I'm sorry, who you are on the inside expresses who you are on the outside. It's visible. It's very visible. Even when you don't think people realize it, it is very visible who you really think you are. I'll let y'all meditate on that for a minute. It really is exposed who you think you are by how you carry yourself, by the things that you do, that the change that you intentionally and consistently make. Because it's not always easy, right? It's not always easy. As a matter of fact, I want to give you another principle, really, again, from Matthew chapter 9. A couple more principles from Matthew chapter 9 that would help you really begin to understand how change takes place. Okay, let me say this to you again. Change is not an external thing. Change must take place internally first. But you actually you have to have a desire to change. You have to have the heart to change. A lot of people in public will say that I want to change. A lot of people in public will carry this persona like everything is all good, right? I was having a conversation with a good friend just the other day, as a matter of fact, and they were telling me about a decision that they were making. And as this person was telling me about this decision, the first thing I thought of was, man, my hat goes out to you. I am like, my level of respect for you went to a whole nother level, because most people are not willing to, number one, look at themselves and say, hey, I need to change this thing. And number two, they're not willing to really expose that to anybody else, because a lot of times we live this private life, or we live this private life that's in shambles, right? But in public we portray ourselves to be something that we're not. And I'm submitting to you that the reason that that is because in private you resist change. You're putting new wine in old wineskins. You're trying to use the same information or the old information into a new situation. I'll say it again. You have to stop trying to use the old information into a new situation. What you did before may not get you to where you're trying to go. So change is necessary. Change is inevitable, right? Again, no one puts a piece of unshrunken cloth on an old garment, for the patch pulls away from the garment. What is that saying? That's saying that the old you will eventually stretch this new person that you think you are. It will stretch that layer of this fabricated person away, and people will begin to see the old you as you were before. Look at this. No one puts a piece of unshrunken cloth on an old garment, for the patch pulls away from the garment and the tear is made worse. What happens when the tear is made worse? Nor, watch this, nor do they put new wine into old wineskins, or else the wineskins break, the wine is spilled, and the wineskins are ruined. But they put new wine into new wineskins, and both are preserved. But I want to show you something, and I saw this as I continued to really ponder on this, right? And that is this: it's necessary to understand that when it comes to kingdom, when it comes to God, when it comes to us doing and becoming everything that God has destined us to be, we have to understand that the kingdom assignment, the kingdom mission, the kingdom mandate is always in motion, even when you don't think anything is happening. It's always in motion. Okay, think about this. When Jesus was told that, and go check this out. It's again, it's in Matthew chapter 9, right? But when Jesus was revealed that the little girl passed, right, and here's what it says. Like literally, it jumped out at me like never before. But it was literally the very three words, the first three words of Matthew chapter 9, verse 18. It says, "While he spoke." While he spoke. And when I read that this morning, it hit me. Even in the midst of you doing or not doing the things that you're required to do in order for change to take place, the kingdom assignment is always in motion. It says, while he spoke, which is indicative of the fact that even in the midst of him doing or saying or getting or doing the things that he was sent there to do, the kingdom assignment was still in motion, right? So whether you decide to change or not, the kingdom work is going to get done. The question is, are you willing to be the person in order to be a conduit of this change taking place? Watch this. I'm going to jump ahead to verse 23, because this is another barrier for change. Some of you, listen to me. Ooh, man, I may need to zoom in on this. Listen to me. Some of you need to understand that the reason that you can't change is because you are so attached to the people that is preventing change in your life. Yes, it's an inside work. Yes, it's personal. But there's people that you have attached yourself to that is causing you to stay where you are. And they are okay with you constantly putting new wine into old wineskin. Okay, watch. Watch. What am I saying? You have got to get rid of the toxic people in your life. If you're going to make it out of this lion's den that you're in right now, you have got to get rid of the toxic people. Watch this. Verse 23. Now, again, we're still watching Jesus do something miraculous with this little girl that everybody else think has died. Watch this. It says in verse 23, when Jesus came into the ruler's house and saw, whew, watch. When he saw the flute players and the noisy crowd wailing, he said to them, make room, for the girl is not dead, but sleeping. And they ridiculed him. How many times have you attempted to make change in your life and people ridiculed you and told you that that would never happen? Told you that no matter what you do, you will always be the same. You will never ever change. You will never be this person that you claim you are pursuing in your life. Look at verse 25. He says this. He says, but when the crowd was put out, wait, when the crowd was put out, you mean Jesus? Jesus put people out of the of his company. Jesus took the people, the flute sayers and the flute players and the noisy crowd, the ones that was contradicting the assignment. He put them to the side. Absolutely, you got to do the same thing. Let me explain something to you. The lion is hungry. The lion is hungry, but you have to be hungrier. And that means sometimes, and I talked about it before, you have to cut the umbilical cord of toxic relationships. Look at this. Verse 25 says this. But when the crowd was put outside, he went in and took her by the hand, and the girl arose. Is it possible that change is not happening in your life because you are associated with people that is keeping change away from you? I really, really want you to think about it. Are the people that you've attached yourself to the barrier to the change that needs to take place? I'm not saying that they are responsible for it. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying that they're responsible for it. I'm asking, are they the barrier or a barrier for you to create change in your life? Stop putting new wine in the old wineskin, thinking that the old garment is not going to tear away at the new. It doesn't work that way. You have to become something different. You have to become someone different in order to experience something different. Romans 12, chapter 2. I'm sorry, Romans 12, chapter 1 and chapter 2. It talks about how we are transformed by the renewing of our mind, right? Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. That requires change. That requires a consistent pattern, a consistent routine, a consistent posture that you will never put old wine in new wine skins. Are y'all hearing me? I'm sorry, old wine in or new wine in old wine skins. It doesn't work that way. You're going to spill the wine. You're going to spill the fruit. You're going to waste your time, and you will never be effective and productive in this life, in this mandate of kingdom assignment. You will never be as effective as you can be, right? Because you keep putting new wine in old wine skins. Don't do that. Don't do that. Let me show you this one more time before we get out of here. It's not going to take long at all. Look at this again. Intentional action. Intentional. You have to be intentional about this thing. Intentional action is required for new levels. Staying the same by not working on the areas of weakness in your life. You know the areas of weakness in your own life, but staying the same by not working on those areas of weakness in your private life will eventually run over into your public life. It will happen. It's just a matter of when. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when it's going to happen. And when you decide that you're going to become a new creature, when you become a new leader, when you become a new father, when you become a new husband, when you become a new man, when you become, y'all hear me, when you become what it is and who it is that you're destined to be, that's when change will take place. Now, here's the catch. You may say, I know, yeah, it sounds good, but what's the catch? No, seriously, here's the catch. It happens daily. Every single day, you have to be intentional about the change. Don't assume today's Tuesday. Don't assume that what you did on Tuesday is necessarily going to be the sure thing that's going to get you out on Wednesday. I'm not saying it doesn't work. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm saying be intentional and be willing to change when necessary. This is how you make it out of the lion's den. Change is hard, but change is inevitable. 100%. The only thing that is constant in this world is change. And if you are going to make it out of this lion's den, then you, my friend, have to be willing to change on a daily basis. Remove the toxic associations from your life and allow God to mold you and shape you into who He has created you to be. And you will never be the same. You will never be the same. All right. So, with that being said, I just wanted to jump on here real quick and give you this thought here in the lion's den. I wanted to give you the thought on how to be intentional about your change, because you cannot go to a new level thinking or assuming that you can put new wine into old wine skins. You have to do the inner work. That's the only way that you're going to make it out of this lion's den. All right. So, with that being said, family, I love you as always. I appreciate you. And I am out for the night. All right. If you have any questions, as always, I'm looking over here to make sure everything is good on this end. If you have any questions, anything that I can do for you that will help you in any way, listen, I'm available. I'm here. Um, Most of you guys know how to reach me, hopefully. If not, send me a DM, put some comments below. What did you get out of this? Share this, share this, share this, share this, because people need to hear what and how to get out of this lion's den. All right. So that's it for me tonight. I appreciate you. And until next time, did I say it? Yeah. Listen, when you're living in your purpose, there's no such thing as competition.